Good evening. This virtual meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education is called to order here on the 6th day of April 2020. Indeed, this is a very unusual time. We've never had to deal with this kind of situation in our past, and certainly hope we don't have to do it again. It's been over 100 years since the last major pandemic in our country. And we just want to praise our teachers who have been engaged in virtual learning and all of our staff. So on behalf of the board, we want to thank each member of our school system staff, our leadership team here, led by Dr. Phipps. They have been working tirelessly through this time. And we are so appreciative of all the work that's been done. We also know that parents are involved, at least in varying degrees, to having to teach their children. That's a bit of a new experience, I'm sure, for some, but we appreciate that as well. Hopefully, before long, we can get back to a normal life. I want to mention one other thing real quick. I don't know, you probably won't have a chance to thank assistant principals, but this is Assistant Principals Appreciation Week. So we are certainly appreciative of the job they do, and we have a great team of assistant principals in the county. So we want to thank them for the great job they do. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to fellow board member, Mr. Joe Sims, to do the invocation for the board.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell. We always recognize our EMS and our fire and our police, and I think that we should continue doing that because they're doing an outstanding job. But another group that has sort of stepped up in the personal world or in the business world is the medical personnel. They are taking this full force and going in and doing everything they can to prevent any further spread of this disease, and those that have it trying to cure them and take care of them. So that's a big thank you and part of my presentation. But another one, we have our own heroes in our school system. That's our child nutrition department. As of today, they have fed 134,370 meals. That's along with the cafeteria staff, volunteers that pack the bags, volunteers that deliver it, but they also deliver not only food, but they deliver schoolwork that some of the children don't have access to through the internet. So we have so many people that are volunteering and stepping up and doing things that they've never done before. I would like for each of us to take a time of a moment of silence and prayer for those folks. Please take a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Appreciate that. And we're going to move on with the agenda. And the first item is the approval of the agenda, which the board has had an opportunity to review. Do I hear a motion we approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Like sign. It is approved. We're going on with the approval of the minutes, approval of March the 2nd, 2020, work session minutes, closed session minutes, and general account. Do I hear a motion that we approve that set of minutes?
I move that we approve the March 2nd minutes, closed session, general session.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. Those opposed, motion passes. Next is a set of minutes from the March 9th meeting, 2020. Those would be board meeting minutes, closed session minutes, and general account minutes. Do I hear a motion we approve those minutes of March the 9th?
Chairman Pennell, I'll make a motion to approve the March 9th, 2020 board meeting minutes, closed session minutes, and general account as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Any additions or anything? All those in favor, once again, raise your hand. Any opposed? And that is approved. Moving on to special budget session minutes of March 23rd, 2020. Do I hear a motion we approve those minutes?
I move that we approve the March 23rd special budget session minutes as presented.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Motion passes. And last but not least here is approval of our March 31st, 2020 public comment session minutes. Do I hear a motion we approve those?
I make a motion to approve the March 31st public comment session minutes.
Okay, a second?
Second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? It is approved. Thank you. We are moving on with the agenda, and I'd like to recognize Mrs. Ann Edwards for announcements.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell. Certainly, in these unprecedented times, we are doing things in a way that is unfamiliar to us. But as you just said, Joe, our teachers and assistants have stepped up and are also doing things in a different way and doing all they can to keep our children learning. So due to these shutdowns that we're currently experiencing, I am announcing that all Caldwell County Board of Education meetings will be held virtually until further notice. And the next virtual board meeting will be held on Monday, May 11th, 2020. All meetings will be live streamed on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Edwards. This time, I'd like to recognize our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
We've already heard that it's Assistant Principal Appreciation Week, and I certainly want to echo those thoughts of appreciation for the things that assistant principals do. They work tirelessly, many times behind the scenes, to get things done, and it's just very evident. I've been an assistant principal. I know what goes on in our schools every day, and there's so much that happens that the general public doesn't see. We just want to thank our assistant principals for the work they do and the way that they do it. Joe Sims mentioned the number. I wanted to share that as well. Almost 135,000 meals that we've served. It's so grateful to the individuals that are working on packaging the meals and those that are distributing the meals. And we couldn't do it without their help. They really are heroes in this time. I wanted to share with the public that this week we'll be observing the same schedule as we've had in the past 3 weeks. Pickup days will be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at our same locations, 11 till 1, and then in the afternoon and evening, 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock. And the buses will run this week on Tuesday and Thursday, this week only. We will not have any buses delivering meals next week during spring break. That's the reason we're doing 2 deliveries this week. Next week during spring break, you can pick up at the same locations. And again, if you need to know those, they're at Hudson Elementary, Gamewell Elementary, Granite Falls Elementary, and Valmead Elementary. So during spring break, it'll be pickup only on Tuesday and Wednesday, 11 to 1, 4 to 6. Those times aren't going to change for pickup. I want to thank especially our school employees and just the members of the Caldwell County Schools team. When we had the announcement made in Raleigh in terms of what we're dealing with now, it really shocked us into having to do some different operational activities than we've ever had to do before. And the work, the flexibility, the creativity, the work attitude that has been exhibited by our employees, it's just been incredible. To think about what we're doing right now compared to where we were 3 weeks ago, it's just an enormous task. And I just want to say we are so grateful to every one of you individually for doing what you're doing to help with the heavy lifting, to take on a new skill set that you haven't had before. We've tried to try some things and go back and tweak a little bit. We really appreciate your patience and flexibility. I've been in public education for 27 years professionally. I've never seen anything like this where I couldn't plan any further than 3 or 4 days out because our guidance and things change so much. And the fact that you're willing to adapt and work with us, the same holds true for our parents and students. And we're just so appreciative of the way that you've handled all of that. We're going to continue to do our updates via social media, text, emails, and our phone calls. So as we get information out, we'll share that with you to let you know that. I did want to let our listeners and our viewers know that we've set up a special tech helpline for students. This is a student tech helpline if there's some issues or things that you're dealing with. And the phone number is area code 828-728-8407, extension 140122. I'll repeat that again, but we'll also have this up on social media and our website for the Student Tech Helpline, area code 828-728-8407, extension 140122. We hope that you'll take advantage of that. And I also want to echo a sentiment that we heard earlier. Medical workers, our emergency workers, all of our caregivers, guardians that are playing different roles now. It just seem to be many different roles and responsibilities that people are taking on. Thank you so much for doing that. Not just to help our school system continue to operate, but to allow our community to operate in as normal a fashion as we can. I think about our restaurant workers and just everybody who's got a role to play, whose lives have been turned upside down. We're thinking about you. We keep everyone in our prayers across our community. We covet your prayers and your well wishes as we go through this. And again, we appreciate your flexibility and your patience as we work through some very difficult times. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. We're going to do, excuse me, honors and recs in a little bit different fashion tonight. We're going to do a virtual presentation, and Dr. Phipps is going to be reading the names of our art students.
This will come up on the screen, and I'm going to recognize the names and the grade and the school that they're from. In this board meeting, our art gallery is going to consist of work from Happy Valley, Kings Creek, and Oak Hill. And you'll see that artwork come up in just a couple of seconds here. First is from Myra Branham, kindergartner at Happy Valley. Charlie Lowe, 5th grade from Happy Valley. Hunter Tilger, 4th grade from Happy Valley. Madilyn Walker, 6th grade, Happy Valley. William Warren, 2nd grade, Happy Valley. Lee Bolick, 6th grade, Kings Creek. Brianna Fox, 7th grade, Kings Creek. Chase McGinnis, 6th grade, Kings Creek. Thomas Townsend, 8th grade, Kings Creek. Dylan Woody, kindergarten, Kings Creek. Gracie Cowick, kindergarten, Oak Hill. Lily Hang, 7th grade, Oak Hill. Kayla McGee, 5th grade, Oak Hill. Luke McIntyre, 4th grade, Oak Hill. Carly Pelfrey, 4th grade, Oak Hill. I want to congratulate our students, thank our teachers who work with our students. They do tremendous work. We'll have certificates that will be coming your way along with medals that we would give out. We're sorry that we're not able to do that in person, but we want to tell you that we really appreciate your work and think you've done a wonderful job with that.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. We truly always appreciate the honors and rec section of our agenda and seeing what kind of work our students do, and it's very impressive. We want to move along with the agenda, and the next item is public comment. And as of 3:30 this afternoon, we had no public comment. So at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Assistant Superintendent Dr. Bill Griffin.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Branch, members of the board, Dr. Phipps. You have before you several items this evening. I'll begin with subject A, human resources, usual and customary informational items. Those are informational items and do not need approval at this time. Second, we have in front of you subject B, human resource services, usual and customary action items, and those are contracts. I respectfully request approval of the subject B contracts at this time.
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the subject B contracts as presented on our agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed, like sign, and that motion's passed.
Great, thank you very much. Next is subject C, human resources, usual and customary action items, our substitute list. I respectfully request approval of the substitute list as presented this evening.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the human resources usual and customary action items as it relates to our substitute list?
I move that we approve the substitute list as presented by Dr. Griffin.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? It's unanimous, and we will move on to the next.
Great. And finally, subject D, our March board transfers for 2019-2020 school year. Total transfers requested are 29. Transfers recommended board approval are 0. Transfers not recommended for board approval for March are 0. And total board approved transfers for the 2019-2020 school year are 1,873. At this time, I respectfully request approval of the March transfers for the 2019-2020 school year as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the March board transfers for 2019-2020 as presented by Dr. Griffin?
Chairman Pennell, I'll make a motion to approve the March board transfers for the 2019-2020 school year.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you very
This
much.
time I'll turn the agenda over to our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
My section here addresses some policy revisions and one new policy for consideration. These come directly from the State School Board Association. I have given these to our attorney, Destin Hall, to look at. I want to go through each one just by name and the number of the policy, and then ask for your approval for these to go up for 1 month comment period, if I could do that at one time. The first one is policy 2302, and the title is remote participation in board meetings. Policy 4230, communicable diseases, students. Policy 5050, emergency closings. Policy 7503, this will be a new policy, and it's entitled telenetworking. Policy 7560, permitted salary deductions for absence and discipline of certain exempt employees. And policy 7620, payroll deductions. Again, a lot of these have to do with what we're dealing with right now. Some are required changes, some are recommended. We'll get feedback from our attorney and also anyone in the public. I'm requesting respectfully that these be put on for a 1-month comment period.
Do I hear a motion that we approve these policies as specified by Dr. Phipps for a 1-month comment period?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the policies as presented by Dr. Phipps for a 1-month comment period.
Thank you. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Like sign. And motion passes. Dr. Phipps, you have anything else?
No, we may very well have to come back before our scheduled meeting in May to be able to have some follow-up on the comprehensive study that we're looking at with respect to Oak Hill. We certainly will give adequate time of announcing that. We don't have all the information together yet. Once we have a better idea of when we'll have that, then we'll talk with board members and make sure that we advertise and give that the proper notice that's required. But it also would be a virtual meeting.
Very good. Thank you, board. Looks like everything ran smooth tonight. Everybody on the screen here. But we appreciate the job that the board's doing. We appreciate the job that everybody in our county is doing. And I know we've mentioned these groups before, but you know, our doctors, our nurses, not just here, but all across this country. This is certainly a most unusual situation we find ourselves in. And I hope that we continue each day to keep all of these people, these local people in our school system, in our medical field, EMS, law enforcement, in our prayers, as well as those across the country as well. I guess I could say, keep washing your hands, don't touch your face, and be safe. Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? We are officially adjourned. Thank you very much.